Get the video going. All right, we're back, everybody. Picking up where we left off. Bo, take it away.
Varel, Hope, and Nash make their way to the gate. And as you approach, you see that there's a small number of tieflings there, caregivers, mostly from the Sand Sanctuary Hospital, and Eminil Fecal there to greet the people as they walk in. And the doors open up, and you see raggedy-looking folk dressed in canvas brown clothes, worn out shoes, as they begin funneling their way in. Among the first people entering are humans that look familiar, but that you did not interact with too much in Dust Hill. But then you see around the corner, boxed over into Loyal, with his wife Lala, and their son, whom I forgot his name.
Brucebane.
Brisbane.
That's
Oh.
Talia's son.
The
They had their own son, but I forget his son's name. So the three of them walk in, and the Boxto immediately says to you and goes, "Hope!" and runs over. They both run forward with arms wide, little body waddling. And they hug your leg, and Boxto's like, "Whoa!" and he goes dunk 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 dunk, and he knocks on your leg. What happened here?
Oh, it was quite the adventure. I'll have to tell you about it later, and I'll kind of lift up my pant leg to show off a little bit of the machinery.
Oh my Lala, look at her leg! He goes, I know! I can see, Boxto! Are we ever glad to see you? They said we were being set free. It was horrible there. They made us do gardening. I hate gardening.
But that
Coral,
was it,
you
though?
big lizard, it's good to see you too. And he runs up and he hugs your leg. And you still got that weirdo with you. Oh, and he looks at your band. Is it very fancy? Where did you get such cloth?
None of your damn business.
Oh, still as grumpy as ever.
Guilty as charged. Now get out of my
Good
way.
to see you. Lala, where's Brucebane? Well, he's coming, dear. And then through the gateway, a child walks through with her mother, Talia. And they make their way in. They say, "Oh, Hope, I'm so glad to see you."
Glad
She
to
comes
see
up
as
to
well.
you and she gives you a hug. And Vorel,
Back.
she looks to you and to Hope. Where's Stanley?
Hope will kind of confusedly look around because she assumes Stanley would come with, but so stealth doesn't know.
Surely he's here somewhere. Stanley! Come out! We've completed the quest! It's over. Time for celebration.
I guess seeing that both of them are there and okay, Stanley would step out.
You step out of the shadow from the corner. And as soon as she sees you, she runs towards you. And gives you the biggest kiss you've ever had. I mean, unless you push her off.
No.
All right.
But I mean, like, it's stilted, right? Like, she's maybe into it. Stanley's not pushing her away, but he's not engaging.
The force of her passion overtakes you. It's toxic.
Oh.
Roll a constitution save, please.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
I see.
Taste of a poison paradise.
Yeah, it's a 9, so.
Yeah, you're aroused.
Ew.
Save for arousal. You fail.
You can pretend like it's not a thing, but
It's
you're
totally a
afflicted.
thing.
You're afflicted with the condition.
Are you saying he has a D&D boner? Is that what we're saying? He has a boner.
I mean,
Yeah.
1d4
See-
chub.
his mind is saying his mind is saying one
1d6.
his mind is saying one thing, his body's saying another. Is what we've resolved here.
It's very artistically put. Thank you, Bo.
It's an R. Kelly song, isn't it? My body says yes, or whatever he does. Is that an
R. Kelly sing
song?
for Aerosmith?
No, he's like, he goes, my mind says no, or my mouth says no, but my body says yes, or something. I might be thinking of the wrong R&B
More like,
singer.
my body says no, but my mind says yes, because it's high pitched.
Oh, maybe.
Beep.
I like to get peed on. Yeah.
Other way around.
Yeah, never mind.
So Nash is muttering to himself.
Stories from the solar mine.
He's watching you
It's
make
Tales of
out.
R. Kelly.
He's watching you make out with Talia, and he's saying these things like, R. Kelly.
Horrifying.
And then Bruce Bane is behind, sort of watching, and as you kiss, you open like one eye and see him sort of staring at you.
All right, that's a reminder enough to control myself right there. Little kid watching me. I end the kiss.
No more
I'll
kiss.
roll for it if I have to.
He slowly approaches and says, Mommy, he's the one that left me with the rental loyals. I know, son. He did his best. I'm so glad to be free of the principal. How did this come to be?
Look around a little uncomfortably about being rid of him.
I made a deal with the principal.
A deal?
Yes.
What does that mean?
It means my kingdom will be doing trade with his kingdom.
Your kingdom?
Yes, I'm a queen now.
What?
It's a long story.
You're just some mechanic that fixed things in Dust Hill. How are you queen of this?
Like I said, it's a long story.
Stanley will have to explain everything to me. Yes?
We will when there's time. We're actually going to be leaving again soon, but
More Dust Hill citizens pour in as you say this.
I'm sorry it took so long.
I'm just glad we're here now and we're all reunited and my son Bruce Bane is okay.
I'm grateful for that as well.
We're starving. Can we have something to eat?
Please follow everyone to the hospital.
Stanley, are you coming with us?
No. I have other duties I have to see to.
As I live and breathe, hope! Holy shit! And you hear a voice from the background, and you turn around, you see it's Jim Sturr, gray hair
I'm
going
gonna
everywhere.
tear up and run up and give him a big hug. And
Okay.
Can I like?
He
lift
tries to
him?
run, but he's old and crippled, so he's very like, and then his body looks worse for wear. So you run up to him and you give him a big hug, and he's like, "How's it going, my lass?"
It's going as well as it could be, Jimster. I'm so glad you made it.
My sweet, sweet thing. And he buries his face into your cheek, and you can feel all his whiskers scratch up your face as he gives you a wet kiss. He says, I'm so glad to see you. Holy shit, I thought we were done in for sure. I
thought
didn't
you
like
all
that
with
place
you.
very much.
Well, hopefully
What are you
like
doing
this place
here?
Better. I'm a queen.
What?
This is my kingdom.
He punches you in the stomach. Quit pulling my leg.
I'll punch him in the arm. No, it's legit.
You're a god. What?
Yeah, we'll have to talk about it over a drink sometime.
What, do you got some kind of royal truckery here now, too? I'm betting you're going to tell me.
Well, yeah, and if you'd like to work at it, you're more than welcome to.
You're putting me to work already.
You don't have, no.
You know what? Send me back. Send me back. I don't want to be another slave here for you now. It'd be even worse.
We'd at least give you gold.
All right, I don't want no gold as long as I get to keep working with you and seeing your sunny face every day. That'd make me be just fine and dandy happy.
Yeah, Jimster.
And after that, the two dwarves come walking in, and you see Shanti and his wife. And they walk in, they go, oh, well, isn't this some kind of reunion here? All these faces from Dust Hill, what are they doing here? I don't know. You better not put me to work guarding a well. Vorl, why are you just standing there with your eyes at me?
Is this the couple that Hope punched the teeth out
No,
of?
no, no. It was a human. They wanted to fight the well guardian, who was the dwarf.
Oh, these are the cool ones.
yeah.
Jen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, Guardian?
I'm not a well guardian anymore. More like, they put me to work chopping up rocks. Didn't care for it. Then they said, you're going to this place now. And that's all they told us.
Welcome
Imagine
to
my
this place.
surprise seeing you here. I thought you'd be dead by now.
I thought you'd be dead by now.
It takes a lot more than a couple of goblins to kill Shun-Ti. They had to put me to work. Where can I get a drink around here?
The Golden Sands. I own it. But I'm afraid you must first proceed to the hospital.
Oh, fancy lad. To the hospital? Pfft. I feel as great as I've ever been. Get me some beer. Let us go. And he begins to walk off. Where is it?
And I'll tell him the directions.
All right, you do that, and he begins walking immediately off to the Golden Sands.
Are there any people that stop him?
No, the people look to you, then look to them.
I'll motion for the hospital people to guide him back to the line. Yeah, everyone has to get checked out. There are no exceptions.
I'm not sick. I'm fine.
Yes, and they just want to make sure that's all right. And then you can have as much as you want to drink. I promise. Do this for me.
You strike a hard bargain, but I'll do it. I'll do it if that's all it takes to live here in freedom once again. Let's go.
I'll bend down to Nash and say, Nash, with your sorceress eyes, can you see that these people were once dead?
Oh boy, can I? Let's see.
They
No.
seem a bit jovial for indentured servitude.
Are you concerned that these are not survivors? That these are, I don't know, replacements, reanimations?
Experiments.
I would like to do an Arcana check to see if there's any kind of mana waves in here. Can I do that?
Sure.
That would be a 22.
You don't pick up anything unusual or abnormal about them in your interactions with them. They seem flesh and blood, as real gets.
I lean to Varel and say, as best I can tell, they're real, but I share your concern. Something's up. How is it only the ones we loved and cared about survived?
You say this out loud?
Yeah, say it to Varel.
Shun-Ti looks back and he says, "Hey, you think I'm some sort of weakling? It takes a lot more than a bit of slavery to put me in the dirt. They fed us, made us do work we'd rather not do. But apart from that, wasn't that bad."
Well, who died in the fire?
What fire?
It seems you all survived. Oh, wait, do I have that wrong? Where was the fire?
A slave town.
Oh,
Dust Hill.
Never mind, Dust Hill, never mind.
Nah, what happened there, Nash? Is a bunch of goblins came in when you went to go do that thing for the Hillmaster.
That's right.
And the Hillmaster was acting kind of suspicious. And before I knew it, he was disappeared. Anyway, I guess the gate was left open because we were washing goblins everywhere. We tried to fight him off. Poor Tetsuo didn't make it. They stabbed him in the gut.
Forgot about Tetsuo.
You know that half orc guy? He was all right in my books. You might be happy to know they cleaved Jen Jen's head right off her shoulder, and she was a lot of trouble. And it's not good wishing anyone dead, but I mean,
Wait, do you mean Wilma?
Wilma.
Jen was the nice one. Wilma was the mean one.
Oh, right. Yeah. John's right.
Well, both of them were friends. I don't know where Wilma got up to. Didn't see her go. Didn't see her in the slave camps. Who knows where she is? But most of the Dust Hill folk they kept together at the Salivating Fields. Gave us food to eat and told us to go and work. I mean, it's incredible. That grotto they got there, it's got flowing water. It's got soil that you can plant all kinds of things in. Vegetables, fruits. They let us eat what we want, as long as it wasn't too much. It's like a paradise in there. I mean, if you're going to be a slave, best place to be is in a paradise.
So how'd you
Still,
end up?
I'm glad to be free. They didn't take too kindly to people trying to get away.
What happened to those who tried to get away?
No, you know, they kill them. And put a revolver to your head and pull the trigger. There wasn't much ceremony about it. They made sure to show other people so that they saw.
Did many escape?
No one escaped. Those, Toyota Host guys. They look crazy, but they're not dumb. Talk a lot of gibberish about Jesus Chrome and how their souls are going to the steel heaven. So long as they carry out the principal's will. And apparently this principal guy is some kind of like, I don't know, embodiment of the steel god on Earth. You ever heard of such a thing? Apparently their principal's been alive for thousands of years. Never known a man not to die of old age. Curious thing. You guys ever heard anything about the principal?
Yeah, we actually have met him.
You met the effer. What was that like?
Pretty awful, actually.
It was. In what way?
Well, in the sense of he is every bit as much intimidating as the stories would make him out to be.
Seemed kind of strange to you that a religious savior is intimidating? I don't know much about the subject. I'm just a fool who likes to work on cars, right, Hope?
We'll
Anyway,
give a nod.
hopefully this isn't the last I see. Are you guys leaving? Looks like you're dressed for travel.
We have some
we are.
business to attend to.
Well, you hurry on back now.
Well, hopefully it won't be for very long.
So I gotta go to this hospital? What's a hospital?
It's just a place they're going to check you out, make sure you're in good health, see to any needs you might have, and get you back out there and situated.
As long as they don't put finger in my butthole.
No guarantees.
Won't be any of that now, right?
I don't
do I
think
have-
they'll do that.
Do I have any idea if they're going to put a finger in his butthole?
Probably not.
Probably be all right, Jimster. I wouldn't worry too much about that.
Well, all right then. I mean, if they gotta put a finger in my butthole to make sure I'm running right, well, that's just how it goes. I gotta put my fingers in every place in a car. Sometimes the car doesn't want me to put my fingers there, but that's how you keep a car in good health. I guess I'm saying we're kind of all like cars, and I shouldn't be so soft about it. Wherever they want to put their fingers, they can put them. Right, Stanley?
Hold on. What part of the car do you put your finger in that it objects to?
Well, it doesn't object, at least not like we do. It doesn't got a voice, but if you listen in real careful, you can hear the engine purring. And that car's telling you something's wrong with it.
But where's your finger?
Wherever it needs to go to fix the car. Sometimes there's too much carbon built up. And you gotta clean it out. You ever done an overhaul on an engine? Gets seized up, too much grit in there. Gotta take apart those pistons, clean all them pieces, put it back together. Putting your hands in an engine's like putting fingers in a butthole. It's gotta be cleaned out somehow.
I'm sorry I asked.
He looks at Dip Tack and he says, I'm making sense here, right? Dip Tack goes, I do not get you.
Show me what you've got.
Anyway, I didn't mean to be talking about fingers and buttholes and all that in front of Hope. Sorry, Hope. You're queen now, milady.
No, you can still talk about whatever you want, Jimster.
That's my girl. And then he turns around. He's like, so I can go with Shunti after, get a drink too at this Golden Sands place?
Hope will look at Varel.
Yes.
Good man, Varel. And he clasps your shoulder. Like he reaches up to clasp it. And then the eye sort of blinks and looks at him. He goes, whoa. I'm no doctor, but you got an eye on your chest.
I'm aware.
That ain't normal where I come from.
He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
Well, all right then. I'm going to make my way to the hospital. It's good seeing you all again. Thank you for whatever you did to save us. Real appreciate it.
Yeah.
You ever find out anything else what happened to Dust Hill? It's still standing. Before I go. We should go back there.
Well, we heard that it was attacked, but we don't know. We never went back.
I mean, I left all my tools there. If they're still there, I'd like to get them back. Anyway, food for thought. You guys have something important to do. And he waves and he makes his way along with the rest of the procession of Dust Hill citizens toward the Sand Sanctuary Hospital, and the area is clear now. Talia is still with you. No, you've sent her off too. So, reluctantly, she's made her way with Brisbane to the hospital as well. Dip Tack speaks up and says, are we done with this?
Thinking hard. Hope, do these people have places to stay and food for their bellies?
The hospital can provide it for a little bit.
I fear Bok Bok may be overwhelmed in the kitchens.
Is Eminel still around?
She's there, yes.
Alright, I'll call her over and ask her to see to their lodging and merging them into the society, jobs and stuff, places to live.
And she nods and says, yes, we will slowly take care of them. We won't ask anything of them, at least for the first few days. Just that they are fed and happy.
Thank you.
And eventually we should put them to work, whatever is good with them to help us.
Yes.
She looks sort of meekly over to Stanley and she says, your wife and son? Is there anything I should do with them?
No, Eminel. It's, she's not my wife, nor is that my son. They were two people from where we started out, Dust Hill. She and I were very close for a time.
I see.
See to it that they're well taken care of, but beyond that, I don't know. Whatever they do it, that it's provided.
She did not kiss you like it was something of the past. And she
Well,
grabs her garments and turns around and heads to the hospital.
Uh-oh.
It's very cool, the tone that this is delivered.
A little love triangle going on there for you.
well, who wants to go for a road trip? 'Cause I do.
Hope will nod and head to the truckery. We'll meet you outside of the gates.
Very good. I will see to this beast Dip Tack has brought me.
Okay. So, who's going to the truckery? Who's going with Varel and Diptak?
I'm going to the truckery.
I will also go to the truckery. I think Diptak and Varel are fine on their own.
All right. And what vehicle will you be selecting from your truckery?
The Fate 4.
Oh wow!
I'm not. I shouldn't decide. Hope gets to decide.
No, Nash. If you want the Fate 4, we fixed it up since it's been out. in
I'm
the
feeling
desert.
nostalgic for that thing. And the last
Yeah,
car we
we-
took kind of sucked. Let's take this.
Hope will clearly kind of be a little cut by those words. She really liked her cool car, but she'll start loading up.
You
with the
don't. You
Fate
can
4.
pick more than one car.
No, just the one car.
Yeah. Only one of us really knows how to drive. The other one has done it twice.
Yeah, that is to stay Stanley. He's done it twice.
Oh, it just reminded me of Tedna. He drove a little bit too.
Oh, that's right. That little piece of shit.
And
Poor
he had
guy.
He had one thing.
He had one job.
All right. So as Stanley, Hope, and Nash make their way to the Royal Truckery, you proceed alone with Diptak outside the gates. And just outside the gates, behind, tied to a rock, are two velociraptors,
Whoa.
and they go. I have brought you one of our finest.
Very fine indeed.
Yes. While your servants ride their beasts of metal, we will ride. I don't know, what am I doing? We will ride true steeds. While they ride their beasts of metal, we will be astride gracious killers.
Gracious killers.
Very
band
good.
name.
Yeah, I paid
Yeah,
base
well-
for them. They were great.
Why didn't we think of that for our team name? That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Go on. Ascend upon this one.
All right, I'll climb up.
Okay, and you're quite large for it, given that you're quite large for a lizard folk.
Wait, can I ask for a roll to mount?
Okay.
Since Varel never rides velociraptors.
Animal handling check, please.
Oh no, calling me out.
I'm just curious.
Sabotage.
Sabotage.
6.
All right, so you go to get on the Velociraptor, and you go to mount it, and then you slide right off the other side and hit the ground. Boom. Diptak, you look immediately to Diptak, who looks at you disapprovingly, and he says, "Is this your first time upon a beast?"
I'm afraid yes.
Hold on, are these lizards on lizards then?
You must have great shame for your parents. Did they teach you nothing of lizard folk ways?
That was a long time ago, Diptak.
Mount it again, and mount it correctly this time. My faith in you is shaking.
All right. 11?
Okay, so you clamber on top of the Velociraptor a second time, and the Velociraptor doesn't appear to be happy that you're on it. You don't seem to be in sync with it, and it shakes you. And you roll around. I need you to make a strength save to hold on to the neck of the thing.
Ooh. 11.
You managed to hang on, but just barely. And you look like... the look of you is maddening. It's fighting to break you off, and you're bouncing up and down on top of it as it tries to shake you off. Control your beast! You are
All right.
its master. Punch it!
I will.
All right.
I will slide off. I let it, ride with the flow, slide off the front, run around to the front, and give it a sock in the face.
Attack roll, please.
A 22.
Okay, and since it's you can decide if you want to use your natural weapons of claws, but if it's a punch, then it's strength mod +1.
No. Yeah, we'll just do the unarmed damage, so 5 damage.
Okay, it goes "Ah!" and it screams out in pain as you punch it in its face, and then it sort of it displays subservience towards you as it kneels down onto its knees and then rolls over with its belly facing up. Diptek says, Good. It accepts your strength as greater than its own. Punch its stomach while it is unarmed.
Right, I'll punch its stomach while it's unarmed. 23.
All right, that's more damage to it, and it gladly accepts your punch.
Jeez.
As you sort of punch it, it goes, and it just writhes on the ground, apparently somewhat enjoying it.
Those unarmed raptors.
It appreciates your strength and acknowledges you. Now command it to get back up onto its legs and allow you to mount it peacefully.
Rise.
All right, and this time make an animal handling check with advantage.
Oh, good, because that was a 4. Oh, okay, 18.
All right, this time you climb astride it, it accepts you, and does everything it can to make your mounting easier. And it trots in a circle for a little bit, and Diptak shakes his head and says, Good, good. You learn quickly, Vorel. Perhaps your shames will become your strength soon. You will need to be strong.
I'll nod at Diptak.
Dictats a dick.
Lizard folk do not like weakness. They detest it most of all. And they detest the tricks of the weak. Lies, deception, tomfoolery. Strength.
Tomfoolery
Overall.
and Draconic.
Tomfoolery.
That's awesome.
I do not know who Tom is or why he is a fool. But yes, we are familiar with
Humans love
tomfoolery.
I know this tomfoolery well, and I agree.
You have met tomfoolery.
I have. In the flesh.
Then that is where this expression comes from. Did you destroy him?
He is banished, in a way.
Yes. It is more humiliating to be banished than to be defeated. Defeat confers honor, for the attempt is made. Banishment confirms none. You have done a good thing to tomfoolery.
Agreed. Let us ride to my companions.
All right, and with that, the Fate 4 exits from the gateway, meeting you there. You see Hope sort of pull up, poke
Got
her head out the window.
aviators on.
Got her aviators on, and she says something clever, which is,
Let's ride.
there you go.
As we turn to ride, I look back at the city. And I turn to my raptor, knowingly leaving my sword behind. And I pat him on the neck and say, Let us go, Mosstorm.
She knows that you've named it, and you feel a feeling of approval just in the air with her behavior, and she begins a trot and then begins riding at full pace. And you are now flying full speed on a Velociraptor. Diptak is behind you. And hope you see them take off, and they're quite
Cool.
fast.
I'll keep a nice pace behind them. I won't try to ride next to them or in front of them or anything.
All right, perfect. So we begin to make our way to Razak Val with Diptak in the lead, showing you the direction. The journey will, let's have a look at our little map here. So you can, I have a random interceptor put here, so let us change that for the Fate 4. Let me see if I have it. Since it is now the Fate 4. There it is. It's quite large.
Oh, it's big.
like
they
the
did
size
upgrade it.
upgrade.
Yeah.
Sheesh, that was huge.
All right, so there's the Fate 4, and you may move it to the next square,
Oh.
but keep in mind, I'll need one of you to roll a d12.
No one has advantage on
Wait,
that. That's
no,
just,
one has control on this. So let me give it
Jesus,
to Hope.
take the wheel.
Oops, controlled by Kristen. There we
Jesus,
go.
take the wheel.
Sweet. All right, so I can go one little bit per thing. Okay. And then it's a D12, you said?
It is a d12, yes, please, for the next square.
Dweet
All right,
well.
this first one's an 11.
Okay, perfect. So the next one's 11. So as you're driving and you begin to approach the dunes after about an hour of travel, you see there's a person out in the desert dressed in what looks to be like a jacket, black jacket, shirt, white shirt, beige pants and some dirty shoes, but they're like dress shoes, and it's their hands are up, waving you down in the
Nope.
distance.
Nope, Hope just keeps on driving.
All right,
She might wave back at the person, but there's no way.
you keep on driving and ignore
on
what
driving.
appears to be a call for aid from someone seeing you. All right, move to the next square and roll a dice, or the hex rather.
There's that. And then a 12.
Nice.
Oh, a 12. Okay, very good. You're driving through the dunes, and it's much slower. Varel, you see that the truck is not making good time through the dunes. As you make your way through the dunes, though, and you get to the top of the horizon, the way forward, there's a black distortion in front of you. It seems all around, not just a small thing, but a black cloud. And as you stop to observe it, it appears to be growing larger at a very rapid pace.
Diptak, do you have knowledge of this cloud?
He gets off his mount and he looks ahead and he says, "It is a swarm. We are about to be beset by bloodsuckers. We must find shelter in the sand."
Very good.
And he moves to one of the dunes and he begins digging a hole.
All right, I'll do the same.
Okay, so Hope, you see from the front that they've gotten off their velociraptors and they're digging holes in the sand.
Stanley Nash, are they digging in the sand?
Yeah.
Seems a little early for camp.
Yeah, it's about noon right now.
Pull up us alongside. Let's see what's going on.
Or not noon, it's more evening time because you would have left, so and it was 2 hours travel. Let's say 6 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sun's still shining.
All right, Hope will nod and pull up next to him and roll down the window. Hey. What's going on?
Are the raptors digging their own holes, or am I burying my raptor?
No, it's just you and Diptak digging. The raptors are sort of, grazing nearby.
What of the raptors, Diptak?
We may have to sacrifice the raptors. They are not disciplined enough to remain underground as we are. They are intelligent, but we should let them go.
In Draconic, what are we seeking shelter from?
Bloodsuckers over the dunes.
How much time do we have till they're here?
Diptak starts, looks up, and he says, "We have about 5 minutes."
All right, I'm gonna plop down over by the raptors. No, not by the raptors. I don't want to get eaten. I'm gonna plop down and say I can create cover, and I'm gonna spend a minute casting Tiny Hut.
Ah, Tiny Hut.
Yes.
Forgot about Tiny Hut.
That should be able to fit all of us. Your raptors can provide us cover till it has passed.
Diptak, this is one of the many talents of the fools we travel with. We should listen to them and enter their tiny hut.
Hope's just shaking her head and looking
Again,
at
I
Stanley
speak
Nash.
Draconic and understand everything that's being said.
This tiny hut. These are small creatures that can enter into many different holes. The sand is more effective than a hut, in my experience.
I can help with that. I can mold earth. I can move earth around. I can create a deep pit. We can put Diptak and his 2 lizards in there. The rest of us can stay in the tiny hut.
Hope's
You can
gonna
mold the earth.
Yeah. I
Hope's
can.
gonna try and start moving the raptors into the tiny hut since they can.
Hope I will handle those raptors.
Well, we need to do
Good
it
idea.
soon, apparently.
All right, I'll go. I'll run over and grab Mosstorm and whatever he names his raptor.
It has no name. Very sentimental. You create the tiny hut. So what does this exactly look like? It's invisible from the outside, right? If I understand this.
No, it's visible from the outside. If you're inside, you can see through it. I can pick what color. I would pick like a sandy brown, blend in as much as possible. But It's a 10-foot radius dome that's going to just have a sandy color
Now,
to it.
now, Nash, you could use your mold earth to create a dome, as you suggest, atop it
Yeah, it could reinforce it.
to protect everybody.
Yeah. I would suggest that to the group. And
Because
then-
Diptak, as he said, I am concerned a hut is not enough. They are small and will find their way in, and there will be hundreds of bloodsuckers biting until you are nothing but skeletons.
how big are these bloodsuckers you describe?
They are small and stupid, but millions upon millions of them can overwhelm any creature.
Oh, you said hundreds. Now you're saying millions. Get your math right, lizard man.
Stanley, can't the hut keep everything out?
Yeah, anything that I don't want to come in can't come
Oh, they are barred for passing through it. Interesting. Is there no way to break through it at all? It's like impervious completely.
in. Yeah, spells and other magical effects can't extend
All
through
other
the
creatures
dome
and
or be
objects are
cast through
barred
it.
for passing through it.
Sweet.
It doesn't like let any. Yeah, it's weird. It's just like there's no weakness to it at all.
Your DM trap has failed.
Don't
All right.
mock him, Scott. He's
Right?
gonna look for a way. Jeez, just be happy
hit
with
the
our minor
forums real
victory.
quick.
Good lord.
All right.
I will explain to Diptak how the hut is merely the name of the spell. It is much greater than a hut. It is a mighty cave.
Very well. It is. There is no cowardice in evading these creatures. They do not fight with honor. They are merely creatures who have one function: to suck blood. And the cloud grows bigger and bigger, and its approach is nigh, and you hear this loud over the dunes echoing bzzz, like a chorus of a million mosquitoes chant out. Quickly, inside, and everyone
Cool.
gets into the tiny hut, and the velociraptors are coming in too.
Yes.
Okay, now's your chance if you want to make a reinforced thing with your mold earth, Nash. You can do it.
Okay, I'll do it.
All right.
I will
And so you
reinforce
bring a
things with
canopy of sand over top,
Mm-hmm.
and Diptak looks at the sand and goes, "Whoa." Your trickster performs an incredible trick with sand. He is a sand weaver. Sand weavers are revered by our kind.
Varel, you've been holding out on me. Tell me more about sandweavers and why you should think more highly of me.
Apparently, I wasn't aware. I apologize if I ever made fun of your sand, Nash.
At Diptak, you should see what I can do with fire.
What can you do with fire?
Well, first of all, I can create it out of nothing.
Oh. That means your soul burns.
Sure.
Burning souls are rare and special. You sure you are not lizard folk?
I am most definitely not lizard folk. Although I can take
That is a
myself,
shame.
I can take on a form that is lizard-like. in
Were you a
appearance.
lizard folk and you could weave the sands and produce fire from nothing, you would surely find the best among us to copulate with.
Oh shit!
It is too bad for you, then, that you are a puny human. Disgusting and
Nash.
gross.
Disgusting and gross.
I do not mean offense. I simply speak truth.
It's fine.
It is an object truth that
I've
fleshlings lack the beauty of scales.
accepted my lot in life, and I take no offense.
Good. Then you know your place,
I do.
fleshling.
I've got a girlfriend who can make a plant penis. It's all fine.
This is
I'll
confusing.
look over at
Varel.
Stanley, shaking her head.
Varel can explain it when you have your next little lizard
The good
chat.
news, Hope, we've got this dome for 8 hours if we need it. 8 wonderful hours of Nash and Diptak.
Did we bring any alcohol?
And as you say that, the buzzing, you can hear the buzzing outside and hear. It's like almost maddening how loud it is, even through the sand. They hunt now. I'm glad we are safe. I'm glad that you brought your companions, Forel. They honor you and your name.
bask in it.
So we taking a long rest, folks, or how long are we staying under here?
mean, I
Swarm clearing.
I suppose we could. We got the hut for 8 hours, but I mean,
Yeah.
we could also just wait for the swarm.
let's. I mean, I'm inclined to use it, although I don't know that we need it. Or
The
do we?
swarm will not dissipate fast.
I'm
Yeah,
refreshed
why
on
don't
everything,
we-
so. Oh no, I'm missing 4th level. I'd love to take a long rest.
Then let the Sandweaver recover his 4th level. I will nap too. And the Diptech immediately closes his eyes and remains motionless, instantly asleep.
Boy, for real, Diptak is just a real character, isn't he?
My time among the lizards has been distant. I'm afraid we will find most to be like him.
So, if we are to get along with your people, what do you think we should do? How should we handle ourselves?
Your words will not serve you in the upcoming battle for their minds. They will see you as foreigners, and you must prove yourself strong. If you wish to dominate someone, I hope you will go with a headbutt first. It shows that your skull and will is greater than theirs. And a fist, I apologize, from one of your fleshy members would be less than required.
All right. So, if we want to leave a impression, we headbutt them.
That would be best.
Where?
In their head.
But what if we can't reach? You're very tall, Varel. If I were to headbutt you, it would not connect with your face.
Jumping may reduce some of the strength of such an attack.
Do we knock them down first, and then headbutt them when they're on the ground?
Some sort of leg sweep could work out. It may be seen as trickery.
Well, where
Until
do
they
they
dominate.
stand on magic? Sometimes they seem impressed by it, other times they think it's strange.
And I'm afraid this is news to me as well. It does seem that they enjoy fire as well as sand, but I'm not sure if fire without sand is as interesting to them. Burning soul might suggest some sort of curse, but Nash's power over the sand may suggest a boon.
All right,
about
well,
guns?
maybe they're in touch with the elements, and maybe that's what we should look at impressing them with.
Guns will likely be seen as a weaker form of violence.
What about the metal limbs? If they find out I hit them with one of those.
Then I believe they will find that most confusing.
Okay.
Will likely assume you're up to some trickery with a weapon in your hand.
Okay.
So they despise trickery, and so we should just simply state whatever is on our mind first and foremost.
That would be safest. Always speak in truths. That doesn't mean, however, I'll look at Stanley directly for this one, that you have to lie. You can simply not say what you mean.
Oh, okay. I think we got this. This should be fine.
Famous last words.
Of all the times we have entered towns, that we have traveled together, we have attempted to lay low. This is not that time. Now is the time for grand entrances, for great displays. And if you have any power within you to make such a thing happen, I suggest you use it to the fullest of your abilities.
But won't we see as subjects of yours? Should we promote you in any sense? Rather than try to be an equal?
Or
Why
is it
would-
a case of the strength of one's allies is the strength of those who follow?
Oh.
Exactly. Why would I the leader of these folk, have any weak allies on my side. Think on your displays. They will be called upon.
Varel, there's something else I wanted to tell you. You missed out on during our time with the principal, and I think you will be relieved to hear. It seems that the principal has been able to remove Diantalis from me.
That's a shame to hear. While I disliked the man, your prison grew stronger, and I feared that he was our great secret weapon in the background.
Nash interrupts with, he's on the other side of the room, but he goes,
We haven't verified this yet. It could still be in there. I don't know if I believe it. Anyway, continue talking. It's fine.
Your counsel is welcome with us, Nash. You may join us.
all right. And I'll get up and go over there. I was trying to stay awake as Stanley was like, well, 8 hours with Nash. I was going to be nice and quiet, but not, I think it's worth noting.
It's not that big of a dome. There's no going over there. You sit up and now you're a part of the circle.
I keep pretending like this is like a room of requirement kind of thing, and I need to get that out of my head. It's not like it's bigger on the inside than it was on the outside.
No.
I keep doing that, though, in my head.
Varel, if I'm being honest, I also share your fear. The principal seemed actually somewhat apprehensive about the existence of Diantalis, but I just can't control him. He seemed to be getting worse, and if he kept feeding on magical energy, I don't know what would have happened. For all I know, eventually he could have taken over all the time.
And I am happy for the safety of Nash's soon-to-be child. I also spoke with the principal for a time. He's not a Weir Lord. He hates them. He also is not a fan of dragons, or at least they're another faction in this war. But there's a reason why I would urge you all to come up with new forms of aggression, as I have.
He doesn't know I can... Well, unless he's listening to everything. He doesn't know about my secret little place, right? My secret... let's call it my swimsuit. My swimsuit place.
butthole?
No, my I don't want to say something he'll recognize. I'll say it. Okay, I'll say it this way.
You've got massive PTSD from being listened in on.
I don't like it. I hate it. I hate that feeling that we're being spied on the whole time, and there's
You're not
nothing
being
we can
spied
say.
on.
We're
right now
not?
that you know of.
That we know of. I've seen.
Little asterisk in tiny print.
I mean, do you have any magic to clear things out?
No.
Is there any magic that will do this?
Not that I have.
No, I agree. With Nash's ramblings, Borel agrees.
Yes.
And that is why I have left behind Mawstorm. His god is the steel god.
Okay.
All bits of steel are now suspects.
I'm laughing because it's funny, but I actually appreciate the logic. It's quite
That's
funny.
good.
That's very Varel too. Very binary.
Look,
If you're
I
gonna trust
understand
any.
where all of this caution is coming from both of you, but first of all, Nash, another aspect of this dome is magical effects cannot extend beyond it or into it. So if we were sending some sort of magical signal to him, it's not getting through the dome right now. So rest easy in that regard.
All right.
Varel, I don't think he can listen through all metal or all metal is his kingdom, but look, we can't jump at everything thinking it's the principal. Right now, for all intents and purposes, we're working for him.
I would encourage you all to find weapons of bone and sinew in the upcoming city, and replace those weapons that may betray us.
Hope's just gonna look down at her arm and her leg. And look to Varel. And what do you suggest with these?
Perhaps we could find a small beast of burden to replace one of your legs.
I'm not tying a chicken to my leg.
It wouldn't be a chicken, perhaps a proud hog of some kind.
Proud hog.
What if it's just a hog and not a proud one?
And it's not allowed in the kingdom.
Only
Proud
proud
or
hogs.
it's not at all.
A self-deprecating hog.
Okay, for a moment, let's entertain the notion that the principal controls all metal and opposes the Weird Lords. Then why would a Weird Lord be sending us to get pieces of metal to oppose the principal?
That is a fair point. And perhaps your weapons, Hope, may be immune
Well,
to
they-
the Steel God.
They're dragon metal. Dragon steel.
Are
Hey,
they?
you got it. Dragon metals, dragon steel.
Dragon
both,
metal, okay.
both nomenclature that works.
Then Nash is immune as well. What of your sword, Stanley?
I don't know what it's made out of.
We should find out. Hope, I do not have an answer for your leg and your arm, but we should continue searching. For the day we face the principal, they will betray you.
I think that's a fair precaution.
Hey, if dragon metal is as powerful as Hope's guns, then I wouldn't mind replacing every weapon we have with dragon metal simply because it's a more powerful weapon to begin with.
Yeah.
Who knows, maybe we can get you a dragon metal arm and leg, Hope.
Oh, that would be amazing. Hope's now fantasizing about a dragon metal arm and leg.
Very good.
Varel, I have a question.
Yes, Nash.
You and Diptak over there, you know that you rode lizards here, right?
Yes.
All right, that's all. I just wanted to make sure the irony wasn't just something I noticed. It'd be like if I rode a dude around, is what I'm saying.
Hope giggles.
Like a small human, slightly less intelligent human. I just found it interesting. It's got nothing to do with anything we're planning or talking about. I just wanted to point it out.
If you want to do that, you could probably find a human to do that.
Well,
Pay him enough.
Tedna's dead. Oh, it's Pam?
Even in death, the poor kid can't get any rest.
No.
Nope.
Oh, Nash. This is Nash. I just realized every vehicle in the Royal Truckery has steel in it. The Fate 4 is full of steel. We're screwed.
Well, we're not fighting the principal right now, Nash. We've got time to figure this out.
I'm paranoid. I'm in a shit hut with a bunch of bugs outside. I need to lay down. Is there room? Can I lay down?
Yeah, this is rude.
Just lay back down.
All right, I'm gonna lay down.
I'll lay down as well.
Well, if it's any consolation, I can make sure that at least Tiet Kala is only made of stone and wood.
It's not a bad idea. Ugh, I feel like I'm catching their paranoia. I hate this.
Yeah.
Well, either way, for now, we are allies and we're not doing anything even related to the principal. We can put it out of our minds. Stanley's gonna lay down, go sleep.
All right. So you guys benefit from a long rest. So be sure to reset whatever you need to do on your character sheets. But morning comes early as Diptak awakes and you hear scratching. Everyone wakes to the sound of scratching, and Diptak is trying to scratch through the barrier and sand.
Well, he can get through the barrier, but
He's scratching
not
through the sand.
beyond. Okay.
Sandweaver! Sandweaver!
But what?
Wake, Sandweaver!
Holy shit, lizard man! What?
Open this barrier.
Why?
The storm has passed. The bloodsuckers are gone. I seek air.
Aren't you strong enough to scratch through that? You're such a
This barrier's
brave,
thick.
strong warrior.
Are you sure they're gone?
I do not hear the buzzing. They have passed. Your ruse was successful.
If they're just sitting around out there waiting for this to open, we're screwed.
I'll keep the barrier up. Dip Tac can go poke his head out, and if all's clear, we can come out.
All right, I'll clear it away. Or
You clear
enough for him
his,
to
his
move.
head to poke through, and he pokes through and he looks out. It is clear. Let us continue. And he pushes his way through and climbs out of the hole. He starts digging a passage open for the velociraptors to exit as well.
Oh, I want Velociraptors so bad.
They
Has
rap
that
really
ever
fast.
happened? Has anyone ever made a rap group called the Velociraptors?
We can look it up right now.
Oh my gosh, what a great idea. I'm just going to have to
What
draw
you
it if
hear
it doesn't
is
exist.
not a test. A Jurassic Park with ease.
All right. We don't have to do it now, but that's awesome. The Velociraptors. They should like exist in the timeline where the Fat Boys were big and stuff like that.
Seems like the kind of thing that would be on a children's TV show.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Rebel L, the Billy Idol ripoff on Sesame Street. It's one of the best things ever.
Aw.
It's really good. Anyway, sorry.
All right.
We'll
I-
follow.
Anyone bring rations?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I
Fate
have
4 is
rations.
stocked with rations. I ordered it before leaving. All cars, Queen Orifi drives, is stocked and ready to go with rations and water.
Oh, well then I won't even go into my personal rations. I'll go for Fate 4 rations.
All right. Whether you find rations in there and you're able to make breakfast for everyone, thus fully benefiting from the long rest.
All right, once I'm out of this thing, the whole dome is going to go down. So everybody out and away from it.
All right. Everyone exits and collects their belongings, and then poof, the tiny dome disappears, and the dome of sand overall collapses.
Okay.
You're now able to continue on with your journey.
Awesome. Hope we'll
Okay.
start up the Fate 4.
Move on to the next hex and roll your d12.
We ride.
All right.
That was an
Move
exciting
that.
little hex.
3.
You guys bypassed a very dangerous encounter. All right, 3. Move along your next hex.
Right. 4.
Okay, and move to your final hex.
Through the gates. 3.
Okay, so the rest of the journey happens without event as the dunes give way again to sands, but you notice that there are little strains of purple sand here and there. And as you look out to the west of where you're driving, you see that on the horizon, the sand does become tainted purple. A curious phenomenon that you've never seen before. And as you make your way towards a small mountain range, you notice as it gets closer that there are holes in the mountain range and passages along the sides of the mountains, and that the mountains give way to a deep pit, the destination where you're heading. As you approach closer, the entrance of this seeming grotto, which you can't see in yet, there is a makeshift tower and 2 lizard folk atop it, as well as some lizard folk on the ground. And Dip Tac raises his fists up to motion for the group to slow. He turns around on his velociraptor to you, Forel, and he says, "Are you ready to meet with destiny?
Ready.
Explain to them that you are the head of the Golden Sands house. I know it seems as if I'm using a name that you already used, but if you remember correctly, I introduced the house as Golden Sands first. Actually, that's a mistake. It's the Golden Lands. I am confused. This whole interaction has been a mistake. But
Very good.
you are leader of the Golden Lands, and you are returning home for the first time. Make sure that it is known." If any doubt your claim, kill them.
All right. I will ride up to below these 2 towers.
All right, as you slowly make your way up to the 2 towers, a lizard folk with a bone helmet and bone necklace and bone gloves and a large spear points towards you. Says, "Halt! Who passes through the gate? Announce yourself."
It is I, Varel Rasfin Kurik, of the Golden Lands, and I have returned to claim my kingdom.
And he looks at you, then he looks to Diptak. You notice out of the corner of your eye, Diptak just nods. He looks back at you. "You are known to us. Diptak has spread word of your being, but we have not met you before. You should report to the great leader at once. You may be head of your tribe, but you do not rule here."
We shall see.
"Make no trouble, and this disgusting metal device must stay outside."
Turn my raptor half around. Come. We walk into town bravely of our own feet.
Cool. Hope we'll kind of find a side place to park the Fate for before getting out so that it's not blocking the entryway.
"Our guard will escort you to the leader now. You may carry your weapons. Unlike humans, we do not fear trickery here." Very
Right,
well.
hope
And then one of the lizard folk in the tower, sort of the bamboo shoot kind of tower that's off to the side, goes boo, boo. And with several lizard folk jogging up, a retinue of guards, 8 in total, jog up and then stand in front of you. The lizard folk says, "These new arrivals are to be taken to the leader. There, they will be met with the decision of their fate." And Diptek says, whispers to you quietly, and he says, "You must show strength. Do not let them intimidate you."
Not a Diptak.
Okay, so the guards turn around in sort of this formation, stepping very deliberately in this weird militaristic type way as they march forward in front of you, and 2 of them run behind you. So 6 are ahead of you, 2 are behind you, and they march you forward through the passage. And the passage descends below to a large valley of sand and stone. And there you see huts, thousands of them. And along the sides of the mountains, holes in the wall. And as you walk forward, lizard folk exit the holes in the wall and look down below at you. Lizard folk exit from the huts, and they all peer at you as you walk towards the back of the valley. You see meat cutters, you see crafters who are making cloth, these cloths just out in the open. They do not work in their huts. And all these craftsmen, you see tanned hides being hung up from various, I'm not sure what they're called, but they're hung up. And you make your way, there's a large cave entrance in the back of the valley. And over 10 minutes, you walk through this procession through to the back. As you make it to the front, there appears to be an armored guard at the doorway. And they stop the procession. "Who seeks audience with our leader?"
It is I, Varel Rasfim Kurik of the Golden Lands, and his companions.
"For what business do you come to see the leader?"
Ownership
I
of
may
my
announce it.
tribe.
"Do you not own your tribe?" Diptak
You.
looks and says, "Tell
You
them
are
that
my tribe.
I am not of the Golden Lands. I am Renk of the Purple Lands." You claim no ownership of me, unless you defeat our father, the leader of the house.
That is my plan.
For what purpose do you seek the leader?
That turned to Diptak. I just proclaimed that I was here to
Tell them
try.
you were here to claim Razak Val for yourself. That you are leader.
I am here to claim Razak Val. I will be leader.
You put forth a challenge. Then.
I do.
Ah, the lizard folk look to one another. Very well. Let them proceed. And the procession of guards around you moves you forward down, and there's a sort of a path that goes down into the cave. And there are torches and braziers lighting everywhere in the slit room. And as you proceed down, the hall opens up into a great room. And you see lizard folk attendants in actual very light clothing, but almost looking priest-like on one side. But the thing that strikes you the most are the cries. Help me! No! And as you look towards where a throne might be sat, up upon a few steps of sand towards the back, a large figure is there, and a familiar one. The Great Orp sits before you. And he has what looks like, one of those chains that you wear, like the biker chain, not biker chains, but like he's got a chain basically on his belt. And on that belt, there are maybe 15 humans strung up from it. And you see one of them go, please don't eat me. And he goes, shut up! And then he snaps his neck. I eat you later. And then the lizard folk sort of look to him and look down, and they kneel as you enter in. And the one you spoke to of the purple rank, he walks forward and he says, to our great leader, I announce Vorel, whose intention is to claim leadership of Razak Val, and to challenge you, Orp, to a duel to claim such. What? He says. And then his one eye blinks, and he looks, and he goes, Vorel! Nash! I found you! And he picks up, he was like chewing on like a human. He just takes it and thrusts it aside and hits it, and then some lizard folk attendants pick it up and carry it off. I can't believe it! It's really you, Vorel!
Orp, how did you get here?
You told me about a paradise of mans to the north, and you weren't kidding! I found them! And then I found some lizard folk, and I went to eat them. And then they made me their king. I don't know why.
I leaned
Well,
over.
I said, I won't eat them as long as they bring me mans.
I'm going to lean toward your side of your head, Varel, and go, how is this possible?
Orp, this is west. Very west.
What do you mean?
Varel, do you think maybe he ate their king when he was out? And they brought him back? Isn't that how your culture
It
works?
was right there. The valley was right there above Slavetown. Orp, you went west. Very, very west.
Oh, did I do something wrong? All I know is you said, go north. And I did. And I found a paradise of mans. But I ran out of mans. So I went, I don't know, west, like you say. What's west?
Another
What?
north.
Then I found scaly ones to eat. And then a whole bunch of them came. And a really big one said, I challenge you to a duel. And I killed them in about 1 second. And then they made me their leader. It's been quite a fantastic journey. I'm surprised you don't know that. I've been talking into this fork, which, if I'm not mistaken, you can hear what I said.
No, Orp, we can yes, we can hear it. If we look surprised, it's only because you're in the wrong, you didn't end up in the right place, but we heard it the whole time, and I wink it.
And I've got you to thank for it.
Yeah.
You're my esteemed guests.
Can I ask a question,
a
Orp?
voice from his belt, his chain belt. So one of the guys gets up and drags his foot. He looks beaten up, and his eyes are like, one of his eyes is poked out, and he's like, please, you other humans, you must save us from here. You must. And you hear Orp go, quiet, you! And then he sort of flicks it like, you know when you flick someone's nose, but he flicks his head, and it breaks his neck and falls down.
Hope's just gonna shake her head and then just spit on the ground and let Varel and Nash.
Now, Rank of the Purple speaks up and says, a challenge has been issued, Orp. It cannot be taken back. But I don't want to fight this one. He's my friend. I make the rules because I'm Orp. So what have you been doing? I didn't hear any voices in my fork coming back to me.
Whoa, through your what?
But probably you've been very busy, right?
Did we give him a fork, Nash?
We gave
And
him a
he
fork. Remember, we told him he could hear, or that we could communicate like a communicator with it, but we just.
Why'd you have a fork that day?
I don't remember, but I think we said it. We were just trying to get rid of it. I'm saying this really quiet so he can't hear me.
What? He says as he goes, what are you saying?
Nothing. We're just so happy to see you, Orb. Give me 1 second.
I'm happy to see you too.
How is it your kind accept him as king? Wouldn't they have fought? I understand the honor of the fight and the death and everything, but there's no way they'd let this giant idiot run this place.
He's very strong, Nash.
Oh, shit.
Let us rejoice, and we'll make today a holiday. No having to hunt for mans today, my wonderful people of Scales, as we have honored guests.
And I think that's where we leave it today.
Oh man.
I think the title of today's show might be Know Your Other North. I think might be the thing we should call this episode.
Okay.
That was amazing.
What?
I didn't see that coming. I am thrilled that it happened. I wondered if we were ever going to have to deal with that chucklehead again. There you go, guys. That is where we're at. Orp's Palace, I guess. The frick, dude. All of this is crazy talk. I can't believe he's doing anything there. All right. Anyway. All right. So, I don't know what to say. What do we even say at the end of a thing like this? I can't believe we're seeing Orp again. Maybe
Wrap up your quests.
Oh.
Don't be lazy D&Ders like us. Make sure
Clean up your mess.
Make sure your shit wraps up before you go on to the next place.
Especially we're going west.
This is really intimate for Nash too because he's seen things.
Oh, I've been right up next to his ball sack. If that's what you're trying to not say out loud.
I mean, you pulled jewelry from his urethra.
Yeah, I've been in there. I've been all up in it. So yeah, this is none of this is good. Can't wait for next week now. This is going to irritate me to have to wait for this. All right. Well done, everybody. Thanks for hanging out and watching with us today. We appreciate it. What is there to say that hasn't already been said? How about this? Go to therewillbedungeons.com and you'll find everything you need from us, about us, for us. Our support system's there. If you're looking to support us, you want to become pod people, that's patrons of Dungeons, you can do it. You just simply go over there and sign up. There's a bunch of levels. We built that thing ourselves. It is not based on some other platform. It is strictly us, so any help you give us goes straight to us and nobody else, which means a lot to us. And it means a lot when you guys support us, so please do. That's therewillbedungeons.com. Therewillbedungeons.com. That's going to do it until next week. For me, for Bo, for John, for Kristen, and for Kyle. We'll see you next time. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com. Yeah!
Personally, I was hoping the episode would get named +4 to +4